go through the webinar. We're going to go through some of the things that they call me, the Downey Association call me and say, hey, we know that you're good at prospecting. We know that you're good at tracking numbers from what they hear from my industry. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do the very best for you guys to teach you guys what is it that I do. And hopefully you guys get some good golden nuggets. So what we're going to do is I wrote down a prospecting tool checklist. And I'm going to go through it, and then we're going to look at the forms individually. So we're going to put them up on the screen so you guys can take a look at them, all right? So the very first thing, so you might want to write some of the stuff down if you want. But here's the list of what I wrote down of what is it that you need to be a successful prospector and a successful person at tracking your numbers, okay? The very first thing, you need a ring binder, a 3-ring binder, which, you know, this is my prospecting tool that I have. This right here, this was making me a lot of money in all these years. I've been doing this for 26 years. But I didn't have this when I started, when I was 20 years old. Nobody ever taught me any of this stuff. I've learned as I've gone over all the years. Okay, but the very first thing you want to have is get yourself a 3-ring binder, very simple 3 rings, right? So this is where I make all my money right here. You want to have that right in front of you. The only thing I have in front of me every day is this bad boy right here. So you want to have a 3-ring binder. The other thing you want to have, and we're going to go through it, is obviously scripts. So most people say, do you follow the scripts? I follow the Mike Ferry scripts. Now you can use Brian Buffini, Tom Ferry. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And you're going to find out that I really don't follow them verbatim. But this is, you want to have some scripts that you want to follow. The other thing you want to have, okay, is we want to have called a pre-prospecting checklist. Again, don't worry about this right now. We're going to put them up on the screen so you're going to be able to get it. And I'll make sure you guys, everybody gets copies of the stuff, right? So we're going to need a pre-prospecting. You need a daily prospecting sheet, which looks like this. This is where I'm going to go through and I'll show you guys what is it that I use. Because in here, in my binder, I have every single day that I prospect. Every single day, this is like my time card. Okay, I want you to think that way. This is a business. This is a time card. So that's what you call the prospecting sheet right there. You're going to need a phone dialer. I can't show you the phone dialer, but there's Mojo, there's Arch Telecom, there's all kinds of different dialers that you would want. It's kind of hard when you're doing like phone by phone, telephone by telephone. So nowadays with technology so advanced, I use Mojo. You can use whatever you want, but you want to have a dialer. And then you want to have leads to call. The leads I have in there is expires, physicals, cancels, past clients, centers of influence, just listed, just sold. You want to have a bulk of leads that you're going to be constantly calling. In other words, you want to be prepared every single day before you get on that phone. That way you don't have to think about it and it's just going to be another excuse that, oh, I don't have anybody to call. Right? So you want to be prepared. You want to have those leads to call. You want to have a headset. Okay, so this is a headset. I brought mine just to share with you guys. You want to have a headset. And the reason being you want to have a headset is because when you're on the phone, you don't want to be distracted. You know, you don't want to be like holding the phone and people start giving you information. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to move around. You want to be nimble. You want to move around and do what you got to do. Stretch. I'm always standing up. I do have a stool where I sit down, but my desk is high. I don't have the low desk. I have a high desk. All right, so that's to create more energy. So you want to have a good headset. You want to have a calculator. I always use my phone. So you want to always have a calculator. You want to have a master business plan. I'll share this with you guys, and you guys can see how I have a master business plan from January all the way to December. This keeps me track. It looks at my numbers. It's kind of like my GPS, kind of like when you're driving in your car, you have all your meters looking at your gas and your oil and all that. That's what that is. That master business plan. It gives you an idea of where you're at, and you're gonna find out why this is so important to track numbers. Okay, so I'll share that with you guys as well. You also want to have, I have what you call a 411 business plan. All these sheets are going to be shared with you. Okay, this is called a 411, and I'll go through it with you guys. But it gives you, one goal for the year. What are you going to do monthly, and what are you doing weekly? That's a 411. That's a Keller Williams business plan that I have there. Okay, then you also want to have your goals for the month. This sheet right here. This every month, this is November, you will write down what are your top 7 goals, or maybe what's your top 1 goal, right? But you want to have these goals right in front of you, okay? So you want to have the goal sheet right there, something that keeps you motivated and excited. You also want to have To track your numbers effectively, this is called a monthly tally form. I'll share with you guys how we use this. Okay, but at the end, this at the end of every month, this is the one that you're gonna fill out. This one right here, you're gonna put in all the contacts, the hours you prospect, the contacts you had, the leads you generated, everything goes on here. And then from here, it goes into the business plan that we'll share with you guys. Okay, you also wanna have your door knocking form. For those door knockers out there, we got some door knockers. I know we got door knockers, all right? Before I was a phone prospector, believe it or not, I was a door knocker. I used to be at my first door at 8 in the morning knocking on doors, and I feel very comfortable. It's easier when you're on door to door, but this is the door knocking one. I put this on a clipboard, and then I start tracking my numbers every day. When I stop, I'll share it with you guys. Okay, that's for door knockers out there. I also have what you call a 66-day challenge. It takes 66 days, guys. 66 days to create a new habit, a new routine in your life. So therefore, I recommend that you guys have this. And again, we'll get you guys a copy of this. But if it gives you a start date, an end date, it tells you what habit that you're trying to develop in 66 days. I guarantee you, you put this to practice, it will make some changes in your life. And the beautiful thing about this form, it has everything from your spiritual life, your physical, personal, key relationship, jobs, business, and financial. Okay, it's all right there. Okay, I also want to recommend you guys get yourself a very simple calendar for the whole year. Now, this one right here is the one that I use. That's from the termite company that I use, right? And so I have the whole year in here, okay, starting in January. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Let me blow that up. Yeah, there you go. You can see that right there.
A little bit closer.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit closer. But you see that right there? Every day is filled out, all right? But it's only filled out with how many contacts I did for that day and how much money I made that day. Believe it or not, I'll share that with you guys. But every month, as you can see, I have, every month I have it filled out. Now, let's go ahead and start with the forms. Okay, sure. So I'm gonna get off the screen. We're gonna go and start looking at some of these forms individually, and then we will open it up for questions that you guys might have regarding this. Okay?
Sure. And which one would you like to see first?
Okay, so let's go through the pre-prospecting checklist first.
Okay. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to turn the screen on and take you off.
Okay.
And then you can go ahead and show them. So here you go.
All right, awesome. All right, hang in there, guys. Let's take a look at here. So the pre-prospecting checklist, that would be this one right here. Okay, so let me go ahead and move this so you guys can have, is everybody in here? Yeah, right. Okay, so this is the pre-prospecting checklist. I got this one actually from Mike Ferry. This is the one that I use on a daily basis. And so, what I'll do here, obviously you put your name, the date on top here. And then if you scroll here, these are the rules to live by. All right, and that's what it's basically saying. I don't know, can they see it? Can I write on it? Not really, right?
No.
I can't point at it?
Yeah, you could with the mouse.
With the mouse? Okay, with the mouse. Okay, perfect. So, so the rules to live by while prospecting, check each one out. So, here's, I'm gonna tell you guys one thing. There's only 2 things that you control in your life, whether you want to or not, okay? Those 2 things are your attitude. You have control of your attitude every single day, the moment your eyes are open. That your attitude, you have an attitude of achieving great things in your life and expecting great things, or you're gonna have a stinking attitude, which if you do, just stay in bed, right? Don't even get up. so you want that's one thing you have control of. You have control of your attitude. The only other thing that you have control of are your actions. And I like this what it says here, because it says here, look at the key to success is my attitude, my approach, and my expectations, right? So you have to read this every day and then write down today's attitude. How is it? How do you feel? Right? You want to set yourself up for success. You want to set up yourself to win. So that's what that is. So all this is just prepping you up and getting you ready. Okay. And as you guys already know that regarding communication, right? 7% of communication is words. So a lot of people have always asked me, do you know like all the scripts? Because honestly, the reason we don't prospect, the reason we don't want to do that is because our confidence is low, because we don't know what they're going to say, or we don't know what we're going to say. And so a lot of times, look at 7%, it's all words. So that's really low. It doesn't matter what words you're saying, right? I keep it very simple. Sometimes you can keep it simple yourself and just call somebody and says, you want to sell? You want to sell? You want to sell? And eventually somebody's going to say yes. So you don't have to worry about being an expert at knowing every single word verbatim, okay? So it's only 7% of the words. But what's more important is going to be your body language, 55%, and your tonality that you use. You got to be excited when you prospect. That's why I say that those are the only two things that you control. So that's what this is. You can find this form at MikeFerry.com. And then you can, by the way, at MikeFerry.com, you can get all the free scripts. All right, so that's the first form right there. We're going to review that. Now let's take a look at the prospecting sheet. This is the one that I fill out. No, this is right here. This one right here is the one that I fill out every single day. Now I have in my binder that I told you guys, you want to have a 3-ring binder. And in that 3-ring binder, what you want to do, let me blow this up. There you go. Now you have the full screen. Okay, so when you have that 3-ring binder I shared with you guys, what you want to do is you want to grab 30 of these forms, 20 to 30 forms for every month, depending on how many days you're going to be prospecting for the day. But each one of these forms, as you can see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So today is Thursday. So I would have I circled Thursday. I put in today's date, okay? And then as I do my prayer, as some of you guys know, I'm a very, I'm a Christian, right? You guys know that I'm always giving good messages about the good Lord. So I do my little prayer right here, right? I thank the Lord. Lord, thank you so much for a beautiful day. And I write down the things that that I'm asking for help, right? Right here, my little prayer. If you don't want to write down your prayer, you can do your ideas. You can do your goals that you want to achieve. What are the choices that you're going to take on today, right? So you can write that down as well, if you're not a spiritual person there. Then this is like I said, this is like my time card, guys. So I put in my time in, okay? Time in goes right there. Time out goes right there. And then how many hours I work for that day goes right there, the total. When I start prospecting, I usually start right at 8:30. I write down here 8:30 a.m. When I take a break or when I'm about to stop, I'll write it down right here, 11:30 or 12:30 or 1 or whatever time at 10 o'clock. Let's say an emergency happens and I start at 8:30, I might have to just scratch it, right, and start all over again. And then at the end, it tells you how much hours, how much prospecting I did in my first round, my second round, my third round, because as realtors, we have a lot of rounds, don't we? Now, I put in here, pay attention to the 168. That's 168 hours a week that we get. We all get the same time, guys, every single one of us. But it's going to be important that the only thing you do, again, what you control, it's not the hours, but what you do with your actions. Your actions, what are you going to do in those 168 hours? Now, you can write down, once you know your hourly rate, you will write it down right here. Once you know how much you make per minute, you write it down right there. I just calculated mine the other day. It's $2.54. I make $2.54 a minute. So I write that. I keep reminding myself because I don't want to waste a lot of time. So I'll write that down right there. What is your goal for GCI that you want to generate today? Write down right there. What is your monthly contact goal? You want to keep that. Remind yourself. Remember, everything that you're putting in front of yourself, you're reminding yourself. Therefore, you're going to be more successful. And then how many hours you want to prospect. You put that right there. These are my strengths. But again, once I give you guys a form, you can create your own. These are my strengths. This is, I took a test and it gave me that I'm a very focused person. I'm good at achieving. I'm very competitive. I like ideas and I'm very responsible. These are the things that I do. Now, right here, the send out cards. I try to send out 1 to 3 send out cards a day. So I write that down, whatever the goal is for the day. And I'm building my database to 1,000 right now. And then send out cards is the ideas. All right, here the eight things. I got this from actually a seminar that I went to. It says here the magic 8. You have to be passionate. You have to have hard work. You got to get focused. You have to push hard. You have to serve. You have to have ideas, and you have to persist to be a successful person. Now, at the end, right here where it says contacts, leads, and appointments, you got to do cold calls. Every time you do a cold call, you put a little dash, a little line. Like the little 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a little line. 1, 2, 3, 4, a little line. That's 5. So every time you do a cold call, it goes right there. Every time you do a lead router, it goes right there. Lead follow-up goes right there. And so that's what you're basically doing with this form. Your job is to fill out the form as when you're calling. You're calling a sphere or past clients or even your lead follow-up, they all go right here. If you get a lead, you mark it right here. If you get an appointment, mark it right here. And then this is going to be important right here. Number 1 all the way down to 16. At the end of the day, this has to be, you got to put a number in here. So if you did 3 hours of prospecting, that 3 hours go right there. Total leads go right there. So total contacts, listing appointments set, listing appointments met, listings taken, listings sold, a buyer appointment set, buyer appointments met, buyer contracts that you do, offers written goes right there, buyer sales, price reductions, fallouts, open escrow, and closed escrows. Okay, so that's this. This is the form that you got to fill. This is your time card. This is the one that you're going to use to go inside your folder. Let me close that down. All right. I know we're going through a lot, and we're going as fast as we can. How much time we got? We're good?
Yeah, so we're at
Does it say?
10:22.
10:22. All right. Man, we're already?
Yeah.
Man. All right. So now what I'm going to do, let me see here. We're going to go through, I think I already gave you guys that. Okay, the monthly goals. So the the 12-week business plan is the one I told you guys. This one right here. And we'll give you guys a copy of all this. Click on this, open it up. This is the 12-week business plan right here. So you want to put the year that you're in, the quarter that you're in right now, and then you want to kind of know where are you, right? So you want to do that. So presently have how many buyer and seller leads, how many leads you have, how many sellable listings or active listings you have, or good ones that are going to sell, that you need to reduce or cancel, go right there. Your income go for the year. And remember, this is per quarter. So you're doing this 12 weeks. It's like every quarter. You want to create a new one. The average sales price, yours is right there, goes right there. So you want to do is fill this out, okay? You want to fill this out and then put your name on it, start date, end date. You have to have a beginning and end date, know exactly what. This is a good formula that Mike Ferry already created from tracking over 16,000 agents. So you want to use this as your formula. It doesn't mean it's going to hit it right on the money, but it could be pretty close, guys. Okay? So, you know, this is for someone that wants to do 44 deals in 11 months. And this is what you got to do. How many transactions, leads, whatever. So it breaks it all down. It tells you exactly, you know, how many hours you need, how many contests it will give you, et cetera, et cetera. All that goes right there. And then your average commission goes right there. So, again, this is free. You can get that at MikeFerry.com. Get that in there and start working on it. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys the importance of why you want to track your numbers. I'm going to go back to my highs, my lows, and some of the numbers. Some of the numbers that I discovered. Is it this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let me blow this up because it's kind of small. Okay. All right. So this was in 2005, guys. I've been around for 26 years in business. In 2005, the market was hot. Let me tell you, the market was good. This is how your master business plan, I'm telling you, is going to look like. Okay. At the end of the year. This right here, let me find my mouse. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. You can barely see that. Okay, so here, so at the top you see I got January all the way across the year to December. And then right here it's got a total. And then right there it's got a goal and then a percentage of the goal. Okay, so as you can see, in January I did how much prospecting? February? As you can see, I was a slacker, man, right? I only did 88 hours that year of prospecting, and I generated 21 leads. You see the total here, 21 leads, and I only spoke with 592 people that year, right? And then the next one after that, listing appointment set, 43, met 38. I took 33, and then I sold 32. Is that what that is right there? I sold, yeah, right there. All right, you see the numbers? All you got to do is just go across, and you see the numbers right there. But here's the kicker, right? So I ended up, that was my best year in real estate. I closed 48, I believe that's 48. Yeah, closed transactions right here, close. I closed 48 deals that year, and I ended up with 16 million in production, with 413,000 in commissions. But then I was also doing investments, right? So I'm being transparent with everyone here, right? I'm just keeping it real. These were my real numbers, 413 and 432. So I ended up that year, I made 846,000. But I only prospected 88 hours. And the market was super hot, guys. I mean, all you do is show up, and people will call you, and you will sell a house right away. I mean, you can show up in sandals, man, because, you know, whatever, it didn't matter. But people were just buying like hotcakes, right? But that was my actual numbers at the end of that year. And then what I noticed from just looking at this, right, that means that every 10 contacts, you see right here, by the way, this is one of the things that you want to know, is how many contacts to a pending deal. That means every 10 contacts, I was getting an escrow open. Every 12 contacts, I was closing a deal. Every 28 contacts, I was getting a lead, right? You see that? Contacts, I was averaging 7 contacts per hour. And then contacts to listing appointments. So all the numbers are right here, which again, I'm gonna give you access to all these this formula, because this took me years to figure this out. But I already have everything, so I can just give it to you guys. And then it tells you right here. So all the numbers are here. But here's what I wrote down my notes on here. Let me see if you guys can see that. The market was super high. I had 2 hats. I was a realtor and I was an investor. I was lazy. I mean, I'm just being honest with you guys. I was plain lazy, man. Going back to 88 hours of prospecting, 592 contacts, man. I mean, the money was good, so it made me lazy, no discipline, and I was distracted, right? So that was in 2005. That was 2005. Now let's look at the 2008, my worst year. Okay, this was my worst year. So I want to be transparent again with you guys. I prospected a little bit more. I did 244 hours. I did 2,800 contacts, but look at, I only closed 8 deals, right, that year. I went from 846 to, what is that, 48,000. I went from 846 to 48,000. So the market had crashed. I don't know if you guys were around 2008, but in 2008, by 2008, it was over for everybody that was in real estate pretty much. Everybody was closing, everybody was going bankrupt. It was a mess, right? But anyways, that year I made 48,000. So you can imagine the lifestyle, my lifestyle that I had before to this. Talk about having a piece of a humble pie. Man, I think I had the whole damn pie, right? I didn't even have a piece, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was good. So my observations, I wrote down my observations here. So I wrote down here 6 months of, there was 6 months with no paycheck. That's what it was, 6 months, no paycheck. My conversion was at 50%, both listings and open escrows when I looked at all the numbers, and I had very low confidence. I mean, I was at the point where I was contemplating getting out of the business and go find a job, a real job. But the other thing I did is, if I did my job that year, right, if I did my job, I would have made, this is my numbers right here. I kind of calculated my own numbers. If I did my job, I would have made 199. Now, at the end of that year, that's when I had to make a move from the office that I was at. I was at Coldwell Banker at the time, first class, and then from there I went to Century 21 All Stars. That's where I was from here. So I'm gonna share with you guys what happened after that, because when I got to All Stars, I saw that the top 10 players there at All Stars. I have a lot of good friends there at All Stars. Joe's a great guy, great broker there. But then when I got there, I was able to see that the top 10 players were all making over 200,000. So that boosted my confidence, and I was like, what? And then to top it off, the broker Joe tells me and said, hey, you don't really deserve an office, but because of your name and your recognition, I know who you are. I'm gonna give you a shot. I'll let you stay in one office, but you have to earn it the next year, which would be the next year, 2009. Remember, looking at my numbers, I only made 45. I only closed 8 deals. Right? He says, you got to be Centurion. If you're not Centurion agent, I'm kicking you out of the private office, and I'm sending you out into the open pit where everybody else, he calls it the unemployment area. Right? So I don't want to be unemployed. But check it out. 2009, here's the numbers. The first quarter of the year, I did 250 hours, and I made 54,000. That first quarter, just because I was able to track my numbers, and all I did was don't talk to no one, just put my head down, get on the phone. Everybody that knows me, when I was there at 2009, I was there from 09 all the way to about 2013, 2014. They knew my spot. Nobody would even touch my spot from prospecting, because I would do it every single day. But look at that next year, I did 700 hours of prospecting, 8,700 contacts. I ended up that year closing, what is that, 26 deals right there? I believe so. Let me see here, closed escrows. Yeah, those 26 closed deals right there, and I made 195 that year, and I made Centurion. All right, but I'm sharing this with you because then, the numbers actually change. Remember before, it was like every 10 contacts I would get a pending. Look at it now. It would take me 159 contacts to a pending. it would take me 337 contacts to a closed deal. 39 contacts to a lead, and my contacts went up. So that's the importance, guys, of actually tracking your numbers. Because then you can take a look at all the numbers and you can say, wow, how can I improve my numbers? And that's how I was able to improve my numbers, by tracking my numbers and being able to stay consistent right here. So what I noticed there, the first quarter, I wrote down here, the first quarter I did more than the last year, 2008. I made 54,000 just the first quarter. Why? And the market was still bad, but I was able to just get back to basics and prospect, track my numbers, and do what I was good at. And that was just be able to get on the phone. And everything was on the phone, by the way. Everything I did was on the phone. So let me close that down right there. So that was those 3 years. Now, one of the other things I'm going to share with you guys is, let me see here, my last 12, I went back and I did a 12-year average. I did a 12-year average of where let me see here, let me blow this up a little bit. All right, here we go. I did a 12-year average of my business, okay? Just for because I was gonna do this class and I was like, what can I share with you guys to inspire you guys, to motivate you guys, and to, if I was starting over again, if I was talking to my 12-year-old business guy, which was, I don't know, I was like 30, I'm 46, so 12 years, I was what, 32, 33, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. So talking to my 33-year-old kid, right? This is what I would go back to. Look what happened. So the last 12 years, 2005, it tells you right here the days I worked, how many hours I prospected. Remember that 88, 592 contacts, how many listings I took that year, how many closed deals, the GCI, and the volume I did. The next year, 2006, was very similar, except for, look at it dropped from 846 to 566. My production dropped from 48 closed to 30. And then the next year, 2007, it dropped again, right? I only took 21 listings. I only closed 9 deals. So the writing was on the wall. I just didn't pay attention. 846, 566, 165, and then 2008, 48 grand, guys. I dropped. It was dropping. It was just tumbling. I was going down. You know what I'm saying? And then I made that move this year, right? My confidence grew back up. I was like, okay, I can be Centurion. Like I said, one of my strengths is competition, right? I see all these cats in there, right? I'm like, oh, dude, if they can do it, then I can do it, right? And it was no magic. I mean, it was just hard work. And I just started doing it all over again, right? But look at my contacts. My contacts were really low right here. And then look at see the difference there in the contacts? 2,800 to 8,700. That's a big difference, guys. But look at this thing, 48 to 195. That's also a big difference. So you got to put the work, right? And then the next year after that, look at I bumped up my contacts more. 2010, 231,000, right? And then the following year, look at my contacts dropped, and what happened to my income? My income dropped. You see why it's so important to track your numbers? And then the following year after that, I bumped it up again, and the market started to get. 2012 was one of the best years. If you were still at 2012, you know that a lot of people were investing, a lot of good deals were happening there. But there were a little bit more contacts, less than more than the previous year. And then I ended up closing 48 deals. That was the year. That was my first year. I think I became double Centurion, or was it this one? One of those years. Anyways, that was 48 deals, 378, 13 million. And then 2013, my contacts dropped again, but I had a little bit more. You're gonna get momentum, guys. As you do your prospecting, you're gonna create some momentum. See that? 41, 381, 12 million in production. And then I made the move to KW, and then I went to 348, right? 12 million, and then to 2014, and then 2011 right here, 470, and then 2016, last year, I was at 455, 16 million. So let me go to so my average is in the last 12 years. Okay, now here's what I'm gonna share with you guys right here at the bottom. This shocked me, okay? This is right in the bottom right here, the totals. This shocked me, and then I created like a little average. But in 12 years, I worked 2,765 days. I prospected 5,747 hours of prospecting. Contacts made, guys, 48,000 contacts, 837. That's how many contacts, conversations I had in those 12 years. I listed 337 homes, and I closed 404 deals in a 12-year run. A total, this one right here shocked me. I was like, where did all that go? I don't know where that money went. But I made $4,273,000 in 12 years. That's gross, by the way. You know, the brokers, they keep quite a bit of that, and Uncle Sam, he keeps some of that as well, right? So, but that was 121 million in production in the last 12 years. But if you would have told me that, I wouldn't have believed it 12 years ago. That's why I say it's important to track those numbers, guys. Because from looking at this, I'm like, wait a minute, man, if I did that, what would the next 12 years could look like, right? It gives you hope. So I'm just telling you, I'm not a very smart guy, right? I don't know my scripts verbatim, the way Mike Ferry tells us to know our scripts verbatim. It's just simply the only thing that these numbers gave me was that every day I had a big why. I had my wife, I got my kids, I got to take care of all my kids. I put them to private school. I have to pay for them for their education. Even now that they're in college, I just got to call. I got to, you know, man, it's expensive. Don't have too many kids, all right? I know we're Mexicans. All Mexicans, calm down, right? So then you got to pay for it. Anyways, my averages. I average 479 hours of prospecting a year. And this is, of course, this is based on my last 12 years, guys. I average 4,770 contacts a year, which comes out to $339 a month, which is 17 contacts a day. Man, you can do that. Anybody can do that the next 12 years, right? Average working, I average 230 days a year. Listings taken, I average 28, which is only 2 a month, 2.33 a month. I closed deals, I average 34 closings a year, which is 2.83 a month. And my average GCI in the last 12 years has been 356 or 29,000 a month. Now, again, this is gross, guys, okay? It's not net. You still got to pay taxes. You got to pay your broker. He's got to make some cash off of you. Big money right there. Okay, the average value per contact, this is how much I average. So right now, if I have a conversation with somebody that calls me on the sign, or anybody calls me, they want to buy real estate, they want to sell, or I'm prospecting, I'm on the street, I give a business card to someone, I just made $87.49, right? So right before you go grab lunch, boom, just go talk to somebody, right? If your wife says, hey, I want a purse, hold on, baby, let me go talk to somebody, right? Now, if it's a Louis Vuitton, then you got to talk to a lot of more people, right? So it depends on the purse you want to buy. So, but at least you know your number. You see that? Now, these are my numbers, guys, right? But you can use them as guide. I'm just telling you so I can inspire you. Average contacts to listings taken. That means every 145 conversations, right now, I'm going to get a listing for sure. Every 121, I'm going to have a closing. So then I said to myself, whoa, now it's time to plan the next 12 years. If I just double my efforts or I triple my efforts, this is what the numbers would look like. So in other words, if I double my efforts, instead of doing 479 hours a year, all I got to do is do 958 hours a year, which is 4 hours a day. And that means 34 contacts a day, right? 67 closings a year, 56 listings a year. You see that? And I should average 712 a year. In 12 years, that means, because remember, I'm doubling. If I double from 4 million, that means in the next 12 years, I can double to 8 million. The potential is there. But then I took a step further. I said, well, I want to think bigger, right? We got to think bigger. I'm going to triple it. If I want to triple it, that means I got to 6 hours a day of prospecting. I got to do 51 contacts a day. That should generate me, according to my numbers, 101 closings, 84 listings, and $1 million a year, which is $12 million. Man, I'm out of real estate. I'm done. That's it. If I just do that for the next 12 years, I can retire after 12 years, right? And then we got to make sure though that we use our money wisely, guys. All right. So there's about 20 prospecting days in a month. I wrote it down right here. So there's a total of about 240 days a year. So let me get out of here, and I'm going to open it up for questions, guys. I don't know what questions you guys might have, but where do we go from here?
Yeah. So we can since it's 10:40, we can start wrapping it up. If you have any last things that you want to say.
No, I think let me share the form. Okay. I'll go through just real quick the forms that we haven't gone through. This is the 66-day challenge I explained to you guys. This is where you will write down your habits right here, right? You write that down, whatever habit you want. Like right now, I'm into fitness. Right now, I'm working out. Right now, I'm eating clean. I'm watching my macros. I'm watching my calories. I have a little app called Fitness Pal. I go in there every day, the day before. I plan out everything I'm going to eat tomorrow, right, or the day of. So that's what I'm working on. So I circled, physical health right here. Bam, circle that. I put in there, get down to break my 200 pounds. Break that first. I got to break that habit of learning to eat, right? And then I put a start date right here. Boom, right? That's where the start date goes. And then you pin this up somewhere you can see it. And then you put a big red X as the day goes. That day goes by. Bam, red X. We see that all the time in the movies, right? When we're watching a movie, boom, boom, put that red X. 66 days later, bam, you did it. Like that. So that's the 66-day challenge right there. The monthly goals. This is the form that I told you guys. And again, we have all these. I'm gonna have all these forms available to you guys. All right. So my monthly goals for the month of November. You put it in here. There's 7 goals right here. Right. The more detail, the better, guys. All right. So that's the monthly goal form right there. The door knocking form. That's this one right here. This is the door knocking form. Again, today is Thursday. You will circle today. You put this on your clipboard. You put today's date. What's your goal? How many contacts you want to get? How many leads you want to get? How many appointments? And as you talk to someone at the door, mark it. And you have to create your own little system. But you want to end up knowing, tracking every number. You want to know every number, and then what time you start, what time you stop, and total hours of prospecting for that day. And you might, when you're door knocking, what I noticed for myself when I used to be a door knocker, I would think of things I had to take care of because you're by yourself. The weather is beautiful, it's nice and fresh, and so things come at you, ideas come at you, or maybe you get a call or a text or something, and you just write it down right here. I got to take care of this when I get back in the office. I got to call this person, whatever. I got to follow up on this escrow, right? And you write down your ideas there, and then all this notes. This is where you're gonna put all your lead information, or someone that wants to sell, or someone that wants to buy, or they give you their name, their number, their email, whatever. All that stuff goes right in all this open space here. Okay, and then when you get back in the office, obviously you want to do the rest of the work. All right, so that's that prospecting form. Ramon's master. This is the 411 I told you guys about. This is the 411, the Keller Williams businessman that I have. My goal for next year is to do 100 deals. My monthly goals is I got to take 6 new listings a month, which means I have to do 1,024 contacts. I got to do the deep work, guys. If you guys have not read that book, I strongly recommend you get that book. It's called Deep Work. Look for it. It's a yellow book. It's really nice. Deep Work, man. It talks about getting off of social media. You might not like it, but it's telling you no social media. Get off of it. People are getting lost in the social media. So Deep Work talks about doing the work. For us realtors, deep work is prospecting, lead follow-up, right? And then your weekly goals. That means I got to hit 256 contacts every week. I got to set 3 listing appointments every week. So I just wrote that down. I'm doing a draft, but I mean with Luther this weekend, Luther Sanchez and Jose Perez, my boys out there, we're brainstorming this Saturday. We're doing like a 5-6 hour session. So we were working on more stuff that we're going to be adding. Just brainstorming. All right. So that's the 411 right there. The rules. This is just something that I have, and I give you guys. I got this from Robin Sharma. I follow him. This is a cool cat. The rules for being amazing, right? And this is just something to motivate you, to inspire you. But it just says here, risk more than is required, learn more than is normal, be strong. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it's just it keeps you little sayings that kind of make a difference. Okay, but we'll act now, don't stop, change the world, right? By little things that we do every single day. But that's just something to keep me there inspired. And then the monthly tally form. This is the one that you're gonna since you're gonna be using the prospecting sheet. This is the one that you use at the end of the month, where you're gonna go through all of your prospecting sheets or all your time cards day by day, and you gotta tally them up, add them all up. You want to put in the number next to all of this. It's easier if you put in how many hours you prospected for the whole month, the leads that you generated that month, total contacts, appointments set, met, taken, sold. You want to know that because of the ratios, guys. Buyer appointment set, met buyer contracts, offers written, buyer sales, price reductions, the follows, the open escrows, the closed escrows, the days that you worked for that month, hours you worked, the volume that you closed. This is sales price, closed deals, gross commission, how much did you earn in GCI, miscellaneous income in case you have investments, total income, expenses, and your net income. All right. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that pretty much covers all the forms that I needed to review with you guys. We're gonna open it up now.
Yeah, sure. So I can put you back on the screen.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and check the questions.
All right,
One
cool.
second.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and.
What's really going on? You know what I'm saying?
So you're back on the screen
Okay.
now. And then I'm gonna check.
I'm back. What's up, y'all?
Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna check for questions. Just give me 1 second.
Any questions? Bring them on down. Let's have some fun. That's what I'm here. I'm here to help you guys, to share my knowledge with you guys. I'm opening up my brain and my mouth.
Okay. So
Don't be shy. It's okay. Just take that risk. You know, just pull the trigger.
okay, so we got a couple questions.
Okay, go for it.
As things are more technology based, do you still make make phone calls, or do you focus more online?
Okay, so I do. So my routine. So this is my routine. I get up at 4:15, head on to the gym, get a good workout, right? Then I go shower, get ready. Boom, I'm at the office at 7:30. I'm walking in the office between 7:30 and 7:45 in the morning, right? And so then what I do from there, I prepare my prospecting. I get that dialed in, get ready. I'll do my Bible study, do my journal, and then I jump on the phone. And to answer that question, I'm on the phone for all of my prospecting. All of my prospecting, I do it on the phone. So I have my headset on, and I start dialing the expires, the new FISBOs, you know, the new cancels, the new withdrawals. I do all of my prospecting on the phone. I do have my Yelp account, which, you know, I'll be honest, I get Yelp deals, right, because of my Yelps, my reviews. I do spend a little bit of money with them, and I do also Zillow. So I just kind of sign back on with them because, you know, my profile is pretty strong now. So I'm just letting that, you know, last year I did like 4 deals from Zillow. So that really, it's like a good return on my investment. Even though I'm paying, I think it's what, $700 or $1,000 a month, the money's still coming in because of the deals that I'm getting. So I don't know if that answers the question, but I don't do no door knocking. I did this year. I did 2 deals from door knocking, and that was because I went to put the lockbox, and then from the lockbox I saw a guy, and I went over there to promote my listing, and the guy happened to say, I need to sell and I need to buy. So I ended up doing 2 deals just by being at the right place at the right time, and that's just God-given. You know, sometimes you're gonna get those God-given deals.
Okay.
What is another question?
Yeah. So there's also a comment. Someone said, "Great information and thank you for sharing."
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
And we also want to say thank you as well for sharing.
Thank you guys, of course.
We'll move to the next question. This is another question. How do you track numbers from open houses?
You know, I would probably use the same form, the door knocking form, and you know, you just gotta be. I mean, when people come in, I would, you know, as I would see people come in, I would just mark it. You know, that's what I would do. You want to create a system. Remember, everything you do twice, you have to have a system. So you want to create a system. So if you're doing an open house, I would just track it. Of course, that's passive. What we call passive prospecting. It's not really active. Active meaning I physically knock on the door. I physically get on purpose on the phone. But it still count. I still think that if you're going to be a person at the open houses, I think that, you know, from when I was at All Stars, you know, Tony and Isabel, that's all they did. And they did phenomenal numbers. They did $1 million in GCI year in and year out. So, you know, that's one way that you can, and I would track that. If you want to create that system, track it. How many open houses does it take to have how many deals or how many clients? If you start tracking that, you're going to get really, really good at that. I guarantee you that. But you probably use that one door knocking form to track it when you're there at the open house.
Okay. So we do have another question. How much time do you spend a day filling out the daily forms? Oh,
it takes me like probably. It's only one form. You know, it's only this form, guys. Right. So this is the only form that I fill out at the end of the day. That takes me about Probably 3 minutes, max 5 minutes. At the end of the day, we all know what we did that day, you know. So if you're tracking it right, and it's just because you're starting out that sheet, you fill it out, and then at the end of the day, you know if you want a listing appointment, and you know if you got the listing or not, right? So you're gonna put a 0 or 1, you know. Well, that's pretty much it. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay. And then let's go ahead and go to the next question. How do you handle your actual appointments with prospecting time?
Okay, so my prospecting time is sacred. I have an assistant. You know, I'm very blessed to have Lily Hernandez. She's my assistant. And, you know, from the beginning, I told her, hey, this is my prospecting time. No one's allowed to call me. No one's allowed to talk to me. Anybody that comes in my private office, they're not allowed to talk to me. She pretty much is, she's kind of like my guard. She guards my time and protects my time. When I walk in the office, she takes my phone, right? I give her my phone, boom. I'm totally disconnected. So I block that time. That's my prospecting time. If anybody wants to make an appointment at that time, it better be like come list me appointment. I need to sell my house and I need to meet with you today. And I already did the pre-qualification and I already know for sure I'm going to get the listing. That would be the only exception. Other than that, I time block it, and it's called time blocking. You put that block and that's it. It's sacred. That's how I do it.
Okay. So we'll go to one more question and then we'll end it there.
Okay.
You talked about Facebook. I remember somewhere in the presentation about not using Facebook, right?
Yeah, social media. Get off of social media. Yeah,
okay.
Get off of it.
Do you still advertise on Facebook? We had a question about that. Do you still use Facebook as a form of advertisement?
I do. I do use Facebook as a form of advertising, promoting. That's part of my service to the sellers because we know that that everybody's on Facebook. We know that everybody's on social media. So one of the things that we do invest and like I said, on Zillow, and we do some Instagram and we do some Facebook. But that's just to advertise it, to promote our properties to our business page.
Okay.
But as far as me, like, I'm going to be on Facebook I'm going to go through Facebook right now. I start scrolling. That's what I'm talking about. Like, stay away from that.
Like wasting time.
Wasting time, yes. Yeah. So we got to do the deep work. We got to get off of that because I think that nowadays we're getting very, very distracted. Everybody, we're all of us. And I say me because sometimes it just happens. Somebody will tell me, hey, I sent you something. I'm like, what? I don't have time, but I'll go in there just because they're my friend or something. You know what I mean? So and I look at that person, and then I end up looking at something else. Like, oh, that looks funny. Yeah. And the next thing you know, like, damn, I just wasted 30 minutes of my life. And if I'm making $254 in a minute, I start doing the math. I'm like, dang, I just lost a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, and that's why tracking numbers is very important.
Yeah, that's tracking numbers is crucial.
Yeah. So I'll just finish it with this last question. Is there any other ways of advertising that you recommend other than like Facebook and Zillow? Is there anything else that you do advertise, like your business?
I send out, so I have, my past clients, obviously, 50% of my business comes from my past clients. I have a birthday club. I send everybody on my past clients, I send them all a birthday card, and I call them the day of their birthday. I have a system for that. So I do promote that, you invest some money into your people. The kids, I get the kids when we close escrow, I call them, I say, hey, give me your birthday, your mom's birthday, no, not your mom, but your kids' birthdays, that live at the house, and I put the kids' birthdays in there, and I send the kids' birthdays as well. And so I do, that's the one form that people will always remember you, you're reaching out to them and making the kids feel special. So I do that right there. Other than that, once a year I try to do a client appreciation party. Okay. And now that with the Brian Buffini system, I'm creating a bit more, doing more parties for my clients. Word of mouth, that's pretty much it. I do send out brownies to successfully when I list the house, I send out a thank you card with some brownies as a thank you. And sometimes I'll send out brownies just because if it's a good lead and they tell me they're gonna sell, I'll send them a thank you with some brownies, and they remember me. They're like, oh, you're the brownie guy. That's right, I'm the brownie guy. And then when they meet me, they're like, oh, you're really brownie. That's it. I don't know. Any more questions?
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. We'll wrap it up. I just want to say thank you so much for attending and sharing all your knowledge with all the realtors. We really appreciate it, and yeah, we're gonna end the webinar now. And once again, thank you so much.
Yeah, if anybody has more questions, you guys have, I'm not sure you're gonna post my number on there, or my email or something, or
Yeah,
or they can reach out to me. You guys can reach out to me. Yes, there's a lot of people that have shadowed me in all these years. I've been doing this 26 years. I'm a different guy. 20 years. When I was 20 years old, so I'm 46. I'm a different guy. I learned a lot. But I know some people have come into my office. Hey, I want to shadow you. Come on down. They come to my office, and I have open doors. So just give me a call, shoot me a text or something.
Okay. All right. So thank you. We'll go ahead and end it now. Thank you for attending.
All right. Thank you.